Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Mother's House Podcast coming to y'all on this day after Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers. This is Deshaun.
Peace. My name is Corey. What's up with everyone out there? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Special shout out to my father who has transitioned. Happy Father's Day to him out there in heaven. All the fathers not longer here with us.
Rest in peace, Uncle Oscar.
So, yeah. So today, man, we want to touch on get off of the celebrity train for a minute and let's talk about some real shit that's going on that's really affecting a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? This whole gig economy.
Right.
I'm personally affected by it because, I'm working job that's considered a gig, and a lot of people are involved into the gig economy, within this gig economy. And it's a misnomer on the job market that's out there. You know what I mean? We're going to touch a little bit deeper into it.
Right. Well, as far as the gig economy, basically, one of the most popular gigs is driving. So you got Uber, you got Lyft, you got Postmates, you got Uber Eats, you got DoorDash, you got Grubhub. And I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of them, but basically with these gigs, they're like jobs, but they don't give you the same protection as a job. You don't get no type of benefits. They don't take taxes out. They can pretty much fire you whenever they want to. And they can work you however they want to work you. They don't have to abide by like overtime rules and stuff like that because with a gig, you're basically a private contractor. So you don't have the same benefits of a job. So I know a lot of people look at that, or at least I did when I first looked at it, and you work at your leisure. But the problem is none of these gigs pay enough. At least the most popular gigs. I'm sure there are some gigs out there that are like amazing, of course, but the most popular gigs, like the ones I just named, gig jobs / app jobs, they don't pay enough to like really help you to benefit from working at your own leisure. Now, if you were making like tons of money when you did your gig, like when Uber or Lyft first came out, you will have more, you have more freedom. You will be able to just do it a couple of times and chill. But because these gigs aren't paying that much and they're getting away with paying you less than, overall less than what standard pay is, maybe not minimum wage, but when you actually do the calculations, because most of the times you have to use your own car.
Wear and tear on your own vehicle. If it's not your own vehicle, you almost always have to use your own gas.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother issue. It just doesn't factor in to be that much of a good idea. But as far as my personal experience with the gig, I did Postmates and I did Lyft. I would say the best thing with gig jobs is don't make them your main gig. Or if you're going to have a gig job, have more than one gig job. I tell everybody that instead of getting a gig job, you might just want to pick up an extra shift at work. But I will say gig jobs are good when you're in between jobs. So when you're like been laid off or you've been fired or, whatever you're doing, just to kind of help you not, sink that little bridge in between jobs. I think gig jobs are cool, but overall, I think they're a lot more damaging to the economy and to the labor force than they are helping.
They definitely sound like it does. The gig jobs came into fruition past, have flourished probably past 5 years now.
Right.
Maybe 6. And you got to keep in mind, not only just the gig jobs is causing a blow into the economy. You got, these Fortune 500s benefiting off the new labor laws that is pushed down through the politics, where they overwork their workers. Like you look at Amazon, the whole thing going on with them, and they're branching out. And yes, Amazon making a lot of money, and they offer a lot of money, but the money doesn't worth the type of labor they put on the delivery to the delivery drivers, to the package handlers. Like, they don't pay enough for it, because it's like they get over on that as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Amazon. I forgot about Amazon.
Yeah.
Even the post office.
At the post office, I'm working at I ain't gonna say the company name. Well, I said FedEx, and down here, I don't know what it's like in everywhere else, but where I live at, in my region, they contract a lot of their drivers out, and since they do that to contract it out, so somebody bought a contract. So basically, somebody bought a contract for the drivers for the trucks, for FedEx. So they got a partnership with them, and the contractors don't have to abide by the same laws as the regular labor force. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So they can get away and say, hey man, I give you this much a week, X amount of money a week, but you won't get no overtime. That's a set pay you get. So if you out there for 14 hours making deliveries, because we overload your trucks with 200, 400, 500 packages,
right,
and you out there to 10 o'clock, you just going to be out there to 10 o'clock for 5 days straight, which overworks the employees, and that's not safe. It's not safe at all. Like, that's violation of labor laws, period. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. And at first when you look at it, it's like, ooh, I got a set pay, and
I get it weekly.
Right. But it's like they're going to work the shit out of you.
Exactly. And this is how they do it. They try to trick you and bait you into it with the whole promotion of, you can make X amount of money here. But when you get there, it's not like it seems. And a lot of jobs are doing that, and especially the workforce jobs, the jobs that require a lot of labor, even for electricians and people doing plumbing. They all have a strict workload, because you look at the infrastructure of America, it's falling apart. So they're going to need that workforce, but they're not willing to pay for that workforce. They want that cheap labor, and they're going to come to you to try to push for that, so they can make them the top dollar out of it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. So
that's what I'm dealing with personally. I'm dealing with that hands on. Where you're working a job and you do your job, but at the same time, the workload is so taxing and tearing and wear and tear on your body, and drain your mental state too. It make you come home every single day as a shell of a person. You know what I'm saying? A shell of a man, a shell of a woman. Every time you go to work, and that's not a healthy economy. That's not how you build a healthy economy. That's how you create and then also there's no room for growth in that kind of economy for the working man or for the working woman.
Right, exactly. So with the gig economy, I think the people who are mostly benefiting are the companies. Whenever they pass some type of law, some shit, it usually is something to help corporate grow, and the people who are on top make more money, and that's exactly what the gig economy is. And they can drop rates. Like when Uber and Lyft first were out, the rates were a lot more expensive. It was a lot higher. And so the drivers were making a lot more money. Even while I've been doing Postmates, the rates have dropped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They haven't dropped a lot, but they've dropped a little. And then they'll find little ways to combine. Like they have Uber Pool, so you'll be picking up more than one person. And they have Lyft Line, and they're about to introduce this thing called, I think it's a bus or something, where people all walk to, they'll treat Lyft almost like it's a bus. So it's they're lowering the rates lower and lower and lower to compete with each other. But the people who aren't making more money and who are really just being hurt are the drivers.
Yeah, because they're not seeing any growth. They ain't seeing no income increase. They're not seeing a surplus.
Right. And you're driving more.
And exactly. And then you got to also put in mind that the cost of living is constantly going up. I saw somewhere where in Atlanta, the minimum wage does not pay for a two-bedroom apartment no more.
Right. Yeah, minimum wage ain't shit.
The disenfranchisement of the working class is going lower and lower and it's constantly going lower. And when you look at it from a racial aspect, you know, black people are mostly going to get hit the hardest because they are the working class people. You know,
right?
And classism is going to be at an all-time high in the next 2 years. That's why, you know, right now we're working on this podcast, and we trying to tap into our tech, get more involved in tech. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna have to get more creative on how we're gonna make money in order to bypass this hardship that's about to come down on the people that's already coming down on the people. Like right now, I'm going through it every single day. I hate going to my job every single day. I know a lot of people can relate to that. Even people who do have decent jobs, a lot of people can relate to that. But, you know, you feel trapped because that's your only main income. And if you try to go for the gig jobs, it's a similar situation. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why, you know, you're seeing a lot of people pushing so hard on entrepreneurship and all that.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of how the gig jobs get you too. They'll say, oh, it's entrepreneurship. You can work at your own leisure and this and that, and, you know, be your own boss. And it's like you're tricked into thinking that, you know, I'm running my own business, which I get it. You get to do taxes differently and claim yourself and claim this and claim that. But at the end of the day, you're not really benefiting like an entrepreneur really would benefit. And you don't really get a chance to do anything else because you have to do this a certain number of hours to survive because you're not making that much an hour.
Exactly.
The rate is really low.
Really not, you know what I'm saying? We end up working 10 hours just to make 8 hours worth of pay.
Shit, it's probably more than that. And then sometimes you don't. I know when I was driving Lyft and do Postmates, it's like sometimes you'll go hours without getting a ride or getting a hit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they have their busy times. Like, it's 24 hour, but that doesn't mean you're always making money all throughout the day. There are certain times where you drive and there's certain times where you shouldn't drive where you'll lose money. Mm-hmm. And again, gas ain't free. And then also nowadays with insurance, if they find out that you're a gig person, they'll raise your rates. Yeah,
for real. Like for instance, because I'm working under a contractor, and this is the thing. I'm not shitting on like people who are contracted electricians and all that. See, that's a skill set that can take you anywhere. You can do any kind of job. As long as you know that skill. So when you know, so there's nothing wrong with being a skill, having a skill, but being like a driver, CDL-B is CDL, DOT driver. There's no money in that. There's no money because that's and contracted jobs are gig jobs. They pretty much are gig jobs. That pretty much it's on your own leisure to a certain extent. But at the same time, they willing to. If you're willing to work, they're gonna work the shit out of you to the point where you can't really do anything else. You know what I mean? And it makes it difficult for you. And that's why, you know, I'm really over the whole gig shit. I'm really over FedEx. I'm really over the driving. DOT, I wouldn't go to the post office even though they pay a little more and they have a set salary and it's a government job. You know what I'm saying? But they all line up with each other. Because, you know, the problem is there's the classism within America is going to be to the point where you can't really find out unless that's where you at. And, you know, looking at your work experience, you try to apply for other jobs unless you have a certain type of skill. It's going to be hard as hell trying to find another job that will really appreciate their workers and give them benefits and give them holidays off and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. So, and it's like more and more companies are moving in that direction. It's almost like the era of having a regular job and doing, you know, getting your little benefits and stuff. It's not at an end, but it's slowly coming to an end because companies are seeing that they can make more money
without doing it, without paying for insurance,
through doing the contract thing, having private contractors.
Right.
And they don't have to deal with everything that comes with, having a real employee, from, your rights and OSHA and all this stuff. So it's almost like a loophole. So hopefully, and one thing you can do, you can get more involved in your politics and, make it an issue. I'm sure there has to be some type of organization that's on the rise that's like really pissed off with what's going on.
I mean, hell, it's really going to have to be on the working class people. We got to get to the point, because this is the thing I see. A lot of people are content with the fuck that's going on. They just think, and a lot of people are miseducated. They don't know what's really going on. They think that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact a lot of people that, I work with, they believe that's just how it is. That's just, this is the job and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We just got to suck it up and deal with it. If you complain about it, then you come off as a lazy person or a person who don't really like to work. You know what I mean? But that's not the case. It comes to the point where, shit. If I'm a human being and I'm doing it's just like any other job. Nothing in this world is free. If I'm gonna work for you, we doing a partnership. Even if I'm working with a actual real company, I'm doing a partnership. I'm giving you this amount of labor for this amount of money. We had an agreement with there. But on top of that, I still need to be protected for inflation, whatever the fuck going on with the company, and how the company orchestrates its work, hazardous issues, and how it does it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I rode a truck. Literally, I rode a truck without no brakes and still making deliveries. They made me have to stay out there and still had to make deliveries with no brakes on my truck.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They put you, and that's the way these companies work. They don't give a shit about the actual employee or what could happen to the employee or what could happen to another person on the road. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the insurance to cover that if something happens.
Right.
They got insurance so they can cover that. But when you're hurt or when your family member dies from a road hazard or any kind of type of thing, they not liable for it.
Right, exactly. So they get to just use a lot of loopholes and go around a lot of shit. Yeah. Because of the title you have. It's all about titles.
All about titles. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
And another thing the gig economy has done is it's made it look like, because now they count gig economy jobs as real jobs.
As real jobs.
So they make it look like unemployment is shrinking when really it's not.
Really, it's not, because it's the more people getting more employed, but people are not making no money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is not putting money back into the economy, putting more money back into your bills. You know what I'm saying? You got to factor in the cost of living is going up, the cost of food is going up, the cost of everything is going up so crazy. The inflation of the market is going so crazy, and the jobs are not willing to pay. They're not willing to pay at all. And I've been with my job for 3 months. I'm supposed to get a raise, and it has not happened. You know what I'm saying? And there's another thing. A lot of people will tell you, if you don't like something, leave it, quit, and find something else to do. And as easy that may sound, you still gotta make ends meet. You still got bills. That's not gonna stop your bills from coming in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes you feel a little trapped, especially when other jobs are not hitting you right back.
Right.
And especially and me being and I'm speaking from my personal experience as a black man, finding work is very fucking difficult, especially when you don't have a solid skill.
Right.
Or you try to develop a solid skill, but you don't have the resources or the economics to get it. So, it's time to get creative and try to figure out your own loopholes to get those things.
Another thing about the gig jobs that I think is just interesting, I always felt like it would be cheap for a company like Uber or Lyft or whomever to offer some type of insurance because y'all have so many drivers.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you added on okay, with Uber you pay this $10 a month fee, and that covers your insurance for while you're driving Uber or something, why haven't they done something like that? Just something. They should be required to do more. I think overall the gig economy just need a lot more regulations.
It does.
They just kind of have the freedom to do whatever they want to do.
Exactly. And I think that's going to come with people who will end up start speaking out more. You're going to see like I said, man, by 2020, you're gonna see a lot of people upset. A lot of people gonna be. You remember the 99% movement,
right?
That's gonna rise again very soon.
Oh yeah.
That's going to rise again very soon because I've seen it in real time. I've seen people getting frustrated. I've seen people are getting angry and getting bamboozled and getting treated, disrespected on the job constantly. You know what I'm saying? From men to women to everybody, and it getting to the point where people just ain't going to have that shit. And after a while, if you and then you got to also factor in, the retirement thing. That shit gone. There's no real retirement plans.
People retiring and doing Lyft while they retire. Exactly.
You still got to work. There's no real solid retirement plan out here. And that's why you got a lot of people who are chasing the celebrity highlight. You know what I'm saying? That's why these kids are chasing those things. You know what I'm saying? Because they seen what their parents going through. They seen what their uncles going through. They seen what their older brothers and sisters going through. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We got to get to a point where we ain't going to have that shit and start going to our local officials and pushing more labor laws that benefit. Down south, they don't have labor unions. They got rid of labor unions in the south, which is supposed to protect the employee. And then, up north, they got labor unions, but then also there's a lot of conflict with that. There's some labor unions that are in cahoots with the company so they can make more money off of the employees. So it's a gig economy. It's crony capitalism at its finest. You know what I'm saying? And it's due to, and it's not just on Trump. It's on all the previous presidents. They all did this shit to this point.
Right. I also feel like that I forgot, I lost my train of thought. But with labor laws and stuff, that things are just gonna, I think a lot is going to be reviewed. Also, this is how I remember. With Georgia, that's one of the reasons why Georgia entertainment economy is growing so big, is because they don't have labor laws. So I think in California they have labor laws. So over here they can get away with a lot of stuff, these movie studios and stuff. So they come over here and you think, the economy, but Georgia is like, it has a law against unions or something like that. It's really hard to unionize.
A lot against it. They give a lot of tax breaks.
Right. So yeah. So it's like a price you pay for having an economy that you think is good. But other than that, you got anything else you want to say?
Other than that, man, we just got to get more creative, man. Like, look into tech. That's going to be booming in the next 10 years from now, 10 to 15 years from now. Tech is going to definitely be a big factor. Get into urban farming, you know what I'm saying? Get creative, man. And don't let these jobs, make you feel trapped, because it can easily do that. Get to the point where, you have a peace of mind and freedom to know, like, this is you just passing by through these bullshit ass jobs, whether it's a gig job or even if you had a Fortune 500 making a decent living, but you hate your job. Just know there's other things better for you can do that can benefit not just you, but your family and your community.
Right. And get involved with your politics so you can know what's going on, so you can cause uproar.
Facts.
Yeah.
Fact. I was debating about starting a revolution at my damn job. But I ain't.
You should. Shit.
Probably should. But we gonna keep on topic on this, because it's gonna come up again and again in the next couple of years and within this year. Like, you're gonna see a lot of people talk about these things.
Right.
So we'll run back through this again. Let us know what y'all going through. Let us know what y'all think about the topic of the gig economy. And how it's affecting the working class man and woman. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Tell your mama and your cousin too. Mother House Podcast is out here doing our damn thing. So we'll catch y'all later. Thank y'all for listening.
Peace.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And the one that there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.